everyone. Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today we have Mr. Arturo González de Araujo Muriel with us. He is the managing partner at Gonzalez de Araujo, Mexico. Thank you so much for joining us, Arturo. We are pleased to have you with us today.
No, actually, thank you very much for this interview and your time. Thanks for everyone that right now is watching us.
It's a pleasure for us to have you as well, and I'm sure it's going to be a great conversation that will help a lot of legal professionals to learn from your experiences. To start with, Arturo, may I request you to give us a brief introduction about your professional and personal background?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Actually, I'm with more than 20 years of experience. I have also, including my participation in a project in Europe, in litigation proceedings, mostly intellectual property, administrative affairs, and taxes. I'm currently specialized in complex industries such as pharmaceutical, real estate, and hydrocarbon. I'm honored to leadership the Gonzalez de Araujo Consultores team as their managing partner, as you told us right now. As my studies, I'm graduated from Instituto Tecnológico Autónomo de Mexico, it's ITAM. Thereafter, I attended to a master's degree in the industrial intellectual property and right of access to information in Alicante, Spain. I'm as well certified as international consultant from the International Coaching and Consulting Network in New York. I'm a certificate in data protection. And right now I'm studying the Master MBA, that is a Master Business Administration, as well as a Master in Innovation and Entrepreneurship endorsed by the Universidad Isabel I in Spain as well. This is an online course. As you may aware, I'm a Spanish speaker as well as English. And let me tell you something about myself. I'm the older of a sister and a half sister. My father is from Spain, and actually, he's living there right now from the last 10 years, more or less. And my mom is Mexican, and it's also my neighbor in Mexico City. And I'm a proud husband and a father of two beautiful daughters. And the women of my life has been always my muses. So this is something that it was really important to me to share with you. On the other hand, I love sports and chess. Actually, I'm a tennis player. I'm a tennis player from as I was 5 years old, and I'm still a social player. From time to time, I'm going to the club and I play a little bit. I play bowling, and of course, all of this sports that it's not in a tennis court is right now closed. So someday and somehow, I'm really pretty sure that I will go back.
Amazing. I mean, that's a great brief introduction that covers everything almost. And I love the part that you said that you're a proud father of two daughters. And apart from this, you love playing tennis. You have been playing it for since you were 5 years of age. I recently started playing golf, and I'm kind of enjoying that. So yes, you should always be connected to some of these sports activity that keeps you engaged and that keeps you motivated as well. Moving ahead, Arturo, I'd like to talk about your career as an attorney, as a lawyer. What makes you different as an attorney in your country?
Well, let me tell you that always it's difficult to talk about a specific difference. Regardless, I strongly believe that my add value, I would say, is the thinking out of the box. As a main topic, the profit point of view in the law practice. Let me explain to you a little bit of this. Most of the attorneys are really concerned and focused to improve their skills in their law practice. I don't know, criminal, civil law, corporate law, mergers and acquisitions, and all of them are really technical difficulties, and so you have to improve yourself. But I think that this is a most, not an add value. Our clients right now, it needs at least expecting to know the law and to know how to practice it. So at that point, I think that to improve our skills is a most more than add value. To understand the merit of the business, it's an add value. The market as part of your job. If it's convenient, and the most important thing is that if it would be an important value to, I don't know, start a litigation proceeding, for example. So you have to take this into consideration, and would be how am I adding value to the organization as a whole. I mean, the law practice should be a tool to help the company and our market to grow the environment, to grow our human resources, and more than to know again the merit of the case, because this is a must. You must know your merit of the case, and you must know the law. One of the several reasons that I decided to study and be certified as an enterprise consultancy, it was that. It was the way in we have several tools in the enterprise consultancy in which we can have an additional add value in our law practice. Since there we are, I'm able right now not only to participate in a different part of the proceedings or the organization chart, but to point out how my legal services is collaborating to achieve its goals. And in this part, it's really important to keep focusing this, because maybe is watching us young lawyers. And you have to really keep in mind that your skills are going to be focused in the achievement of goals as a part of the whole of the enterprise, of the business, or whatever you are practicing right now. At that point, if you know where to add value in this proceeding and how the law practice can improve that proceedings, you will be really a different kind of attorney at law, and you can add value in your law practice. Maybe it's it's not only my comment and my difference in my country. Maybe it's going to be in short, my best suggestion in this interview.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you, Arturo, on this. And this is a new change that the legal industry is trying to bring everywhere, and I'm glad that you're doing it as well in Mexico. Because honestly speaking, the attorney at law is not the similar kind of a profession that used to be 10 years or maybe 15 years back, when you used to sit in your cabin and just advise on the legal fronts. But now you have to be a very much involved team player who's involved into the core business, the revenue cycle and everything, who knows in and out. And then you decide or you suggest your client or your company from that legal brain. So that's very important. And if you're doing it already, I'm glad to know that. And I'm sure this is going to be a great learning for all our viewers as well. Moving ahead on to my third question, I'd like to talk about how legal sector, especially in taxes, intellectual property, cooperative affairs, litigation, administrative affairs, they have been impacted in the Mexico region due to COVID-19. And what solutions do you foresee from a legal perspective?
It really is a really confrontive question, because we actually in Mexico, we are still facing a lot of challenges there. We are not in a green light. Actually, we are really, really far away from that. So in this scenario, I would like just to be as amicable harm to all the people that right now is suffering something about the COVID-19. As taking again your question, I would say that as small as almost all the sectors, the legal services has been strongly impacted by the COVID-19. As a matter of fact, the court has been closed up to August 1st, something like that. Administrative courts actually has been closed even later. So from March, more or less, from late March up to now, we have been facing all these closings in periods, or even the period in a long term that it was from March to August. So at that point, also the trademark office and so on. So some of the local clients did not use video conference, so the communication went somehow different, were impacted from there. Maybe some of the our clients that was a little bit older, that you have to download your application. It was like a very difficult and different code from there. rather than go to the breakfast or a meeting during the lunch and try to figure out how to work. Just to speak with the through the monitor, it was really really difficult for there. Actually, I'm smiling because it was maybe a bad joke for a lot of people. So at that point, let me tell you again that a lot of our authorities were not prepared to face something like this. So a lot of these authorities, local and federal also authorities, was not updated through the online proceedings. So it was really difficult for us because we don't have any filing. And let me tell you, right now I'm still facing a lot of backlog of work in which we don't have any decisions from courts, have not decisions from administrative authorities. So all your official communications, your official action has been just imposed. So the enterprises or the companies right now, it's suffering all this delay that have just to figure out how to overcome these obstacles. Uh, what we was facing that, let me tell you something. As important point, our country was one of the latest countries to be impacted by COVID. So our friend had the possibility to prepare our proceedings, reports, voicing, and even the meetings between us. Before we were impacted, we start implementing and downloading a lot of software and technology to be able to face this in our homes. Our law firm took a lot of measures as improve and implement technology in contracts as well. Online proceedings when it was possible, as we mentioned before, and litigations. Some of our courts, federal courts, has been updating as fast as possible with this. It's not completely implemented, but they are doing their best. At least that's something that it's important, not only to go to the bad point of view, but also the positive updates. And this, our law firm had to reduce significantly the backlog of the litigation proceedings because most of our proceedings before federal court has been conducted online. So rather than another law firms that were so traditional, just again to think out of the box and just prevent what it was taking place in another part of the world, we were able to prevent a little bit of this and file everything as fast as possible in benefit of our clients.
Amazing. I think technology, you rightly pointed out this. Technology is one tool, that one probably solution that can help us to come out such situations, or at least keep sailing, even if we are in such a bad condition. So that can really help us to keep sailing and keep moving forward. But you rightly said, thinking out of the box and possibly taking some preemptive measures, just presuming the situation what it could be. Thank you so much, Arturo, for those lovely insights on this. Moving ahead, and now I'd like to ask you about what opportunities do you see for foreigners who want to invest in Mexico or who are already in Mexico?
Well, as you may aware, and globally, we are in a crisis. So my first comment in that is that the crisis are opportunities to resolve conflicts. The market, the opportunities is in our country are still there. Maybe the market is stopped right now, but that's for sure, as it's all over the world, and maybe the market is changing as well. Regardless, the clinical eye would be able to detect the changes, adapt it faster, and consequently be ready for the new reality. Uh, Not only to be resilient, but have the eye to go there and to catch the opportunity, you know. In Mexico, for example, we are facing a lot of amendments, a lot of them, since the criteria of the new government is different than his antecessors. So at that point, we were detecting important changes in our government suppliers particularly in health, construction, logistics, and e-commerce, of course. In all over the world, it's the e-commerce right now, it's taking place. In the same line of action, we should not forget that Mexico has almost three 130 million people. So really it's a big market to export from other countries, which the market might be saturated or will have a small population, for example. So the commodities and competitive services will be always welcome. In short, let me tell you that right now the amendments from the government, even the particulars right now, is changing a lot because of the COVID and because also the government has been changing even before this pandemic. It's important just to explore the possibilities and the necessities of our country because I'm pretty sure that our suppliers and around the world can be really competitive in our market. And let me tell you something: if you have a big population like this, I'm pretty sure that your product or your service is going to be really welcome from at least a part of this beautiful country that is mine.
Amazing. That really talks about the details, why you should be investing, and what is the future of market in Mexico. So that's been very beautifully elaborated by you. Thank you so much, Arthur, on this. Moving on to my last question for the session, I'd like to know for those young legal professionals who are still growing up or still who are in the law schools, what would you be advising them? What are your three core values that you truly believe in and that you also would like to advise to those young legal professionals?
I think that is your most beautiful question. And as a matter of fact, I would say that it's maybe the best question that I received in a lot of time ago. Because everyone asks you about the market or asks you about your legal skills. But this is part of your core. And if you have your soul, your body, and your mind in the same line, you will be able to have success. And that point, it's my first one. I would say that it's tenacity, because you have improved improving my soft, my technical, and my social skills. The second one would be loyalty to my family, clients, teams, and to the law. Otherwise, I will not practice law. Excellence to be a better person, family member, and attorney. With these three core values, I think that I have the basis to go out and win. Win for the world, win for my law firm, and win for my clients.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing those three core values. And I think not just in the legal fraternity, not just in the law fraternity, but wherever you are, whatever you do, these are three core values that if you truly believe in and if you truly adapt them into your daily routine, in your day-to-day work, and if you really follow them, you are definitely going to be a successful individual. Thank you so much, Arturo, with that, for sharing such great insights with us and answering all of those questions. And it has been a great talking to you. Again, for our viewers, if you like this interview, please like, share, and subscribe this to our YouTube channel. Also share it with your friends and colleagues wherever you are, as this really helps us and boosts us to get more industry leaders in front of you and help them share their advices to yourself. With that, we come to the end of this session. Thank you so much for your time. This is Vinay for LexTalk World.